A ver. Hola, hola. Vamos allá un segundo. Tum, tum. Muy bien. Hola a todos, hola a todas, ¿qué tal? ¿Me oís? ¿Me veis? Hola, hola. Bueno, veo que os vais conectando y perfecto. Ya veo que me decís que sí, que hola Pau, hola a todos. Gracias y a todas por conectaros. Bueno, hoy tenemos una charla especial. Today we have a very special guest with us. We're very excited to be able to talk to her. First I just wanted to say hi to everyone, and I hope you guys enjoyed the training with James Borrego, one of my former coaches at in San Antonio, now head coach with the Hornets. And he taught us about dribbling today, and also that you were able to do the healthy challenge. So I love to see that as well. So you guys please feel free to share your videos doing your meditation session. Again, thanks for connecting to our second session here of the second online webinar with the Pau Gasol Virtual Academy by Santander. So I'm going to introduce Sabrina. Sabrina Ionescu is just 22 years old. She has accomplished something that in both male and female NCAA history that will take some time to probably match or ever for that matter. So she's an NCAA all-time leader in career triple doubles, the Pac-12 conference all-time leader in assists, and only NCAA Division I player to ever record 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds in her career. In addition, she was elected by the New York Liberty with the #1 pick in the 2020 WNBA draft. Just an incredible basketball player with so much ahead of her, and we'll get to know her today a little more and know her story and her path to where she's at. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to talk to Sabrina today, and it's going to be, we're going to ask her, see how her Spanish is, but I'm sure most of the time we'll be speaking in English. So let's see if we get Sabrina with us. I think she's already on the call. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Good to see you, and good to have you with us. And thanks so much for participating in our academy and our first prototype virtual academy that we kind of put together when the COVID hit, and we understood that we couldn't come together as we usually do. So thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, how are you? Well, we'll start to tell us a little bit about your background, about your story. I personally would love to know more about it. I read some of it, but I'd like to know more how was your upbringing and what has helped you throughout your life to be where you are, and some of the key moments that you could share with us.
Yeah, so my family all immigrated here from Romania, so they didn't speak any English. They all came here with my older brother, and then me and my twin brother came about 9 years later. And so my parents just worked, and so me and my twin brother would go out to the park and play, and we just kind of gravitated towards basketball because it was something that we could always do. There was always a hoop, a ball. You could always find someone to play with. And so we started doing that at a really young age. Every summer we stayed out at the park. We found someone to play against. And then I slowly just started really, really enjoying and falling in love with the game. So I just started playing in middle school and high school, and then was lucky enough to play in college and had a pretty good career at the University of Oregon, and then got drafted about 2 months ago in New York. And so now just getting ready, and we leave out to Florida in a week to start a shorter season and playing. So I'm excited for that and just getting ready.
How have you managed and handled this, how, COVID started hitting all basically, and how everything pretty much shut down as you were pursuing your first NCAA championship? And I feel like that was one of the big reasons why you kind of came back for your senior year. And now, how have you handled that? How have you processed all that?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. Obviously, came back for my senior year to play for a national championship, and
Mm-hmm.
we're having our best year yet and playing really well and excited for that. And then, it kind of got taken away, but I kind of just was focusing on what I could do from that moment on. And so I probably took about a week of trying to process it and not work out as hard. And then after that, for the last 3 months, I've been working out 2 to 3 times a day and just preparing for what's next. And so, I was preparing for the draft, and then I got drafted, and I was hoping that there was going to be a season, and now there is, and I've been training for the last 3 months, so I feel prepared, and obviously just trying to get in better shape and keep working out as much as I can to get ready. But I've really been ready this entire time, just in case there was going to be a season. I didn't have to try and catch up.
That's very important, and that's always what I tell all players pretty much, is to stay ready, and do what you can, control what you can control, just be ready for the different possibilities, and try to take advantage of the opportunity to get ahead as well. And that's something that I think we spoke about, and you mentioned as well. And I think those players that want to be at the top and want to dominate, want to strive to be the best, that's the mindset. It's just they analyze every opportunity to see how they can get ahead from the rest. And I think you've done that, and I look forward to watch you play at the start of the season in Florida, and see how you dominate your opponents. But you haven't had a chance to even meet your new teammates, correct? Or have
No,
you?
I mean, a little bit on Zoom. We talk on
Right.
Zoom, and I've played with 2 or 3 of them on like USA basketball. We played when we were younger together, but I haven't really gotten a chance to meet and talk
Practice.
basketball with them. We're just
Right.
all on Zoom watching the plays, trying to figure out what we're going to do, just all virtually.
Right. No, it's crazy. Definitely different times that we're going through, but you got to adjust, and you got to figure it out, right? So it's it'll be interesting for sure, and I look forward to see how it all plays out. But it's glad that you guys connect, and you kind of try to do as much as you can to get some stuff going.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
So, all right. So today we're going to talk about the value. Each day in the academy, we talk about, and we focus on one value, one principle that we like to kind of discuss. And today is going to be confidence with you. Yesterday we talked about teamwork and the importance of team values and core and communication. And then today we're going to talk confidence with you. And so from 0 to 10, that's kind of the question that we ask at the beginning, is like, how important do you think this value is in a sport like basketball at the level that we play at? What's the importance of confidence?
I mean, I think it's a 10 out of 10, because there's, especially in today's age and society, there's going to be so many people that try and tear you down. There's going to be so many people that don't want to see you succeed. And if you don't believe in yourself and have confidence in your abilities, then you're going to listen to what they have to say. And so I think it's something that you definitely learn how to get better on, and really the importance of having it. And there's going to be times when, if you're not playing well, if things aren't going well, you might lack that confidence, but you really have to find another way to get it, whether that's surrounding yourself around teammates that can help you gain more confidence, or really just trying to reflect on yourself and figuring out, how else you can bring importance to the team. But I think it really starts with how you prepare. And if you're doing everything that you can to be the best player in person, whether that's getting in the gym or lifting weights, running, doing everything that you can to be your best, there's nothing that anyone can say or do that really derails you from that. And so I would say that's what I do. I try and be the best that I can and work on my game, and that's all the confidence that I need going into games and practice.
When I read that after you got selected #1 pick by the WNBA, that you said that you didn't feel any pressure, and that's something I think it reflects kind of what you're saying about you trusting your work that you put in, and trusting yourself and your ability. And so tell us a little bit about that, because I feel a lot of players, and or some players that have been selected that high, they do feel a lot of pressure, right? It's like, oh, I'm the number one pick. I gotta outperform everyone. I gotta show that I'm the best every single day. And have, you know, players, Anthony Bennett that I remember, Kwame Brown, players that have been selected very, you know, with the number one position. They have failed to deliver or to live up to the expectations, and I'm assuming that pressure, it's a factor that they haven't been able to handle well. So tell us a little bit about, you know, your thoughts and feelings about that.
I mean, I just don't think I'd try and listen to the outside noise. I know that being selected number one, there is pressure on coming into a team that is, you know, projected to finish last in the WNBA and bring them to these new heights, kind of like I did in college. But at the end of the day, basketball is a game, and if you don't cheat it and do things the right way, everything will take care of itself. And so obviously, being a rookie and entering a professional league, there's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be adversity that you have to face. But if there isn't, then the road's easy, and then, you know, nothing really manifests from that. I think the fact that there's going to be things that are difficult, there's going to be losses, is really what's going to make you grow. And when you're uncomfortable, that's really when you grow. And so I'm just excited to be able to see new challenges and find new ways to face them. And there's going to be a lot that comes with that, obviously, this year, being in a bubble city and not being able to be around friends and family and coaches that you're comfortable with. I'm going to have to find new ways to talk to people over the phone, get in contact with other people to help me through some of the stuff that, you know, they might have helped me through in person. But I think I don't really put too much pressure, you know, from the outside looking in. I think my expectations and pressure are so high for myself that no one from the outside could ever beat that. So it's really just me versus me.
Right, there you go. So no, I think that's great. You know, but I remember, you know, in my first year, I was the number 3rd pick at the time in 2001, and I came in and there was a delegation from Spaniards that flew to Memphis to watch me play in my first game. And it was about 300 people in the stands with flags, and then the whole country, because I was on the 2nd player in the Spanish history to play in the NBA, and there was just so much expectation, and I could feel that. And even though I trusted my ability, I could feel that tension. I wanted to do so well, and after my first 3 games, I struggled. I was so tense, and until a veteran player came along and then told me, "Pau, just relax, man. Just play. You're a great player. You're very talented. Just go out there. Don't worry about anything. There's 79 more games. You're gonna make mistakes. You know, just go out there and play. Have fun. It's just a game, right? As you were saying." So once I was able to just kind of let go of that and just play my game and be aggressive and don't worry about a missed shot here or turnover there, and just be aggressive constantly, be in attack mode. Things started coming really fast, and I started playing really well, and I was able to be Rookie of the Year, and I was the first European player in the history, non-American, to win that award. Now Luka Doncic has been the 2nd one, so it's, you know, it's pretty big accomplishment at the time. And this I wanted to tie up with, I think, a factor that you probably can relate as well. You know, to me, family has always been very, very important, to give me that stability, to give me that confidence, that pillar to kind of rely on through the ups and downs of the game and the attention and so forth. So tell me how the importance of your family and your path in your life.
I mean, it's huge because they love you unconditionally, not just when you're playing well, or not just when there's a story that they want to talk about when you're not doing well. So I think just having that backbone and always understanding that those people, you know, loved you before you played your sport. Those people loved you while you're playing your sport is huge. And my family came down to every single game my last year, and, you know, they all came together and watched and supported me and helped me through tough times and, you know, helped me through good times. And so I think that's definitely the most important thing, and really the reason that I play, because they gave me that opportunity. And, you know, my parents coming here for a better life for us, not necessarily for them, you know, as immigrants, not going to college and leaving their land in Europe and coming here for us. And so just staying close to them, and especially now in a professional career, just making sure that they're always of importance, and not really letting business and basketball and other things get in the way of what's really important, which is the people that are closest to you.
Absolutely. Totally agree. So make sure you tell them how much. I'm sure you tell them, but tell them how much you love them and appreciate them, how important they are on your path, your life. Well, they call you the triple double machine, and you and pointed out that you have come to the WNBA to revolutionize the women's basketball, the game. How have you come to be, I guess, so productive in different areas of the game? Because, point guards, let's say that they will focus more on maybe on passing, distributing, shooting, playmaking, but rebounding is not quite something that that they would put emphasis on or rely on. I read a little story about, when you started playing, and I wanted to see if that's something that you recall or that you give importance to, as far as when you had to figure out ways to get the ball because they wouldn't pass it to you. And so you understood that go and get rebounds was a way to, that you could control to get the ball and be able to be a part or be more involved in the game. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it started when I was younger because I was playing up and I was playing against guys and they wouldn't pass the ball. And so I had to find ways to get it, whether that was getting loose balls or getting rebounds. And, I'd watch people shoot, just trying to figure out how to become a better shooter. And when you do that, then you're able to see patterns on where the ball hits the rim. And so I was able to continue to watch players shoot that either I admired or that I was playing with. And I would be able to see their shot and if it was going to be short or long. And I was kind of able to use the angles of those misses to get to those rebounds quicker. And then it kind of just grew from there. And in high school, I continued to do the same thing. And I was a little bit of a taller guard. And so I was able to get in on smaller guards and get rebounds. And then I knew going into college that I needed to continue that. And so whether the ball is not going in that day when I'm shooting, if my passes are getting deflected, having that effort and determination to go get a rebound when your team really needs it, or just go make a hustle play, always keeps me motivated and is always something that I want to do, because no matter how you're shooting, you can always play hard and give everything you have on both ends of the floor. And so hopefully I can continue doing that at the professional level. And it's going to be harder. I mean, there's going to be players that are a lot taller, faster, and stronger, but at the end of the day, it's about how bad you want to go get that ball. And at one point, the defense is going to break. They're not going to continue to box you out every single second. There's going to be some lapses to where they get tired or they don't feel like doing it. And then that's when the reps of you continuing to go every single time is going to pay off.
Yeah, that resilience and that determination, at the end of the day, you can break down your opponent when you keep going at it, you keep punishing, pounding. At some point, they will give up if you kind of sustain that type of mindset and approach. So I would absolutely agree, and it's all about will, right? I had a coach, older coach, an assistant coach back in Memphis in my early years. She said, "You can't be selfish when it comes to rebounding. There's not such a thing as being selfish as when it comes to rebounding. Even though big players or centers or power forwards might get upset here and there because they're busting their butt boxing out, and then there you go. There's that small forward, that guard that comes in and snatches that rebound. I'm like, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
But so I had even with the Spurs, with DeJounte Murray or Kyle Anderson, I had to box out my guy and had to box them out too. Yeah. I had to box out 3 guys to get a board.
That's funny.
So, but it's I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's the team rebounding, right? It's not about you or somebody else. It's about us securing the rebound, securing, not allowing the second chance opportunity to the opponent, and heading out to the attack, to the other end. So so you understand that portion of it, and we all work together for a common goal. So even though players have their kind of departments, and and then we live in a little bit of a numbers game, at the end of the day, when you understand about winning and how that's the ultimate goal, and that's how everyone is happy and gets rewarded, that's what matters. So
exactly.
So you just gotta work that out or work through that. One thing that I wanted to ask you is that there's a fine line, I think, from being confident or being overconfident or to the point of arrogance, which I think as professional athletes, you really have to be confident about your abilities and about, no one can stop me. I can do things and I can, beat my opponent and help my team to win and so forth. But how do you keep a balance between being overconfident or confident and being humble and kind of keeping your feet on the ground and not letting that confidence kind of take over?
Yeah, I think I definitely practice and play with the mindset of like being an underdog. And I think that's really what drives and fuels me to always do more, work more, and be the best that I can. Anytime I go in, and if I'm working out, if I miss shots, if I'm in a game, I'm practicing and playing like there's someone out there that's working harder and doing more, and there probably is. And so I think having that mentality of I want to continue to get better and I'm never going to be satisfied, but at the same time, kind of falling back to your level of training where it's like you put in all these hours, you put in so much mental work, physical work, you have to believe in yourself. But I think really having that mentality of there's more to do. There's more ways to get better. There's people out there that are working harder, and there's people out there that I have to beat. And then I think, especially when you face defeat, if there's a game when you lose and if there's a game when you don't play well, that gets you right in shape to where you need to be to get back into the gym or get back and work on your body or whatever it is, because there's going to be times when a team's just going to beat you or you're going to beat yourself. And I think that's always kind of a reality check to what could I have done to do better, or what could my team have done to do better, but how are we going to grow from this and not be just satisfied with, okay, we lost next game, or even in wins. It's not like, okay, we won next game. It's like, okay, well, let's figure out what we did to win and maybe what we didn't do very well, but still won, and how we could continue to grow from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think two things. One thing, I think sports can be very humbling in its own way because of playing high competitive individuals or high competitive teams, and the winning and losing. You cannot always win, no matter how good your team is, and there's always cycles. So sports, and you can have an off game, and I think it's just a way to just say, kind of get back to the gym, get back to the basics, and look at the tape and learn from your mistakes. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? And that's something that reminded me of something that I also learned Kobe talk about. It's just study and learn, not just from when you lose, but also from when you win. So you can keep on learning and keep on getting better, right? I think one of his biggest things was watching a lot of tape and preparing better than anyone else. And that was his message always to the team and to the young players. If you want to be better, you got to prepare, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the work. There's no secret about that. So I feel like having that type of mindset of always kind of being locked in and self improvement, it's always such a huge factor of being the best that you can be. So I love that you have that same approach, and obviously he has taught you some really good things. So that's fantastic. Okay, so what are your goals for next season? Like, you have any specific goals that you set yourself for yourself?
Yeah, I try and kind of stay away from the goals, like, because I don't want to limit myself. So I feel like if I say, oh, I hope we make it to the playoffs, or I hope we do this, and then I feel like then there's kind of a ceiling on your goals. And so I think I've always when trying to reflect on what I want to accomplish, it's kind of how can I be the best version of myself, and how can I intertwine goals into that. And so, obviously I want to come in and contribute and play well and win Rookie of the Year, and hopefully, take the team better than it was last year. And, we start winning some games and don't finish last in the league. But, and those are all goals that I have for myself and for my team. But I think just reflecting on a deeper level is, I hope I can just come into the league and just learn a lot and stay healthy and just continue to get better, because I think over time, if I can continue to get 1%, 2% better in categories over time, that's going to add up to a lot of percent. And so I think that's really what my main goal is to just be able to have a healthy season and learn a lot and play well and play at a high level. And then whatever I learned during these 2 to 3 months that I'm a professional, take that into the off season and then just work really, really hard while I'm in the off season and have hopefully a better year the next year if things return back to normal and a longer season, more time to prepare and with my team.
Mm. Oh, that's great. I feel if you focus on being better every day, on getting, just that 1%, 0.5% better every day, at the end it does compound, and you don't set yourself up, or you don't set yourself short for limiting yourself to, as you were saying, hey, if my goal is just to be again rookie of the year, or if it's just to be let's get the team to the playoffs, then you'll be happier and content to get to the first round, right? And it's like, well, I achieved my goal, but
I got here, yeah.
Right, I got here, and then that's okay. But you're setting up limits to your reach, and then I think you guys just got to find out how far you can go. But if you focus on your daily work, that's how you're going to get better, and then you'll see what that takes you. So that's great approach as well. I think you're in a great path, Sabrina.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, not that you didn't know that, but but yes. So and now to finalize with my questions, what recommendations would you give to the participants of the Pau Gasol Academy by Santander, which to work on their confidence? What would be some of your suggestions?
I would say to first off figure out what you're scared of or what your fears are, and then that's when you find ways to conquer that. And so if you're scared of failure, if you're scared of not making shots, if you're scared of not being good enough, I think the first step is figuring out what it is that might be creeping in and what you're doubting. And I think then you figure out what ways to overcome that. And I think there's something that everyone fears, whether it's failure, whether it's not being good enough or not making a team or whatever it is. I think really understanding yourself is the first thing that you really need to do. And then from there, it's really about the work. I mean, if you're scared of not making a team, if you're scared of failure, it's like, well, then you got to put in more work and you got to make sure you make that team and you got to find ways to be better and do better. And so I think that's something I do. And, I'm so competitive and always want to win that I hate losing, but you have to lose to understand that you hate losing. You can't be scared to lose, or you can't be scared to put yourself out there, because then you never experience it and you can never grow from it. And so I think that's something I do. It's like I'm always pushing my limits. I'm always wanting to do more, and I'm not scared of, oh, well, if I do too much, my percentage goes down, or, if I put too much work in, I'll be tired. Or it's like, no, then you find ways to put more work in, get more sleep, hydrate better, eat better, and then you find ways to keep growing. So that would definitely be an advice that I would give to everyone that's on.
Well, that's great, because it kind of leads me to two questions that I wanted to ask you. And you mentioned about habits, right? And things to do to take care of yourself and to be able to help you perform better and feel better, right? So in our academy, we incorporate all of our work that we do with our foundation, the Gasol Foundation, about healthy habits and the fight against the childhood obesity pandemic as well. So today, the participants of the academy have learned how to meditate before going to bed. And I think that was something very important, as you were saying, about knowing your fears, knowing yourself, know how you feel about certain things, or what you might be scared of, or sure you might struggle with. So and then you talked about sleeping habits and sleeping well, and how important that is to play well on the court and be able to perform at a higher level. So can you share what is your routine before you go to bed? Do you have a specific routine to be able to rest better?
It is. I mean, nowadays everyone's on their phone all night, and that's really what has kind of taken over all of our lives. And so I think a huge part of that is just putting my phone away and laying there, relaxing, trying to not have my eyes on the screen right before I go to sleep. And I think that really helps you sleep better. But I think that also just gives you time to reflect on maybe the day that you just had, or the day tomorrow, and how you can wake up and be better, or what your goals and plans are for that day. And I think, the phone is such a distraction, and it's hard because, sometimes you're so busy every single day that nighttime is your time that you have to lay there and be on your phone. But I think that's huge, just putting it down for the 15 minutes or 20 minutes you have before bed, and just trying to focus on the day that you had and the day you have tomorrow. And then obviously eating right and taking care of your body is huge, because if your body's not healthy and if you don't feel right, it's hard to perform. And so I think that's something that I learned through college and now being a professional, because when I was younger, I would eat whatever I wanted, sleep whenever I wanted, and be able to go out and play. And then I think when you keep playing at a high level and put your body through so much stress, it needs to be fueled the right way in order to perform how you want it. And so making sure that if you're sore, you get that figured out. If you're hurt, you get that figured out, because you want to be able to compete at a high level and not be worried that your foot's sore, your back's sore. And obviously I'm still dealing with that. I still get sore. My body still hurts when I work out. And yours probably does too. So you understand the pain.
Absolutely. And as you keep going forward, the pains and aches kind of increase, because you kind of accumulate a certain level of wear and tear, so that even all these details and factors, they're even more important to pay attention to, and to look at the details of everything that you do. And at the end of the day, taking care of your nutrition, hydrate well, and making sure that that you sleep well at night. You put away your phone, your devices. There's people even that keep them in a different room, so they're not tempted to even have them nearby. And they claim that they sleep better that way. I haven't gotten to that stage yet,
Neither.
but that's a tough one. But I do try to put it away 30 minutes before I go to bed. I try to meditate and kind of calm down, kind of turn off, decompress from my day, and I sleep a lot better then. But well, we'll see. I'll let you know if I ever get to put my phone in a different room. That way, it's still it's a work in progress. We'll see. All right. Well, but as I said, details and taking care of your body, it's just paramount as you move forward in your life and in your career, and such at a high level, especially if you want to prolong it for a long period of time, right? And you want to be able to enjoy this gift that you worked so hard for longer. So, all right. So now let's go to the participation of the assistants and participants of the Pau Gasol Virtual Academy. We have a couple of questions. Every day we do contests and challenges, and today we're going to talk about, yesterday was the Becky Hammond contest, and how well they knew Becky, and we're going to have the winner of that contest ask us a question. So in the winner is Bastian Ruiz. He's from Chile. We have more than 50 countries present in our academy. So Bastian is going to ask us a question. How is your Spanish? I forgot to ask you.
It's okay. I understand a little bit. So I'm
Okay.
reading some of the people
Yeah,
talking,
some of the comments.
I can understand what they're saying. Yeah.
Oh, great. Love it. Okay, let's go with Bastian. Bastian, ¿cómo estás? Estás en mute. Estás en mute. Ahora sí. Ahora no.
Ahora sí,
Ahora
¿me escuchan?
sí. Sí, te escuchamos.
¿Se escucha? Esta pregunta es para ti,
Ah,
Pau.
pregúntame.
¿Cuál ha sido tu ídolo de la NBA, tu jugador favorito, el que más te ha gustado?
Bueno, so Bastian is asking me which was my favorite player growing up. Bueno, mi jugador favorito cuando yo era pequeño era Michael Jordan. Fue el jugador que dominó aquella época de los 90 con los Chicago Bulls, y bueno, fue un ídolo para mí, y bueno, tuve la gran suerte de poder jugar contra él cuando llegué a la NBA. Sus dos últimos años, perdón, mis dos primeros, pude jugar contra él, y fue un sueño hecho realidad, poder jugar contra mi ídolo. Así que esa es. Le preguntamos a Sabrina también cuál fue su ídolo.
Ya, sí.
Sabrina, which
Is he asking you the same thing?
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah.
For, which one was your idol or your player growing up that you idolized?
Yeah, I would say it was Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant. Those were my two favorite players growing up, being from California, being able to watch both of them.
Right, there you go. Pacific Coast.
Yeah.
In the West Coast, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
they're two of the greatest players. So yeah, different generation. I was more of a Michael
Different
Jordan.
generation.
Right,
Yeah.
totally. All right. Muchas gracias, Fabián. Pues muchas gracias por tu pregunta.
Ok,
Bueno, cuídate mucho. Gracias. Saludos desde Chile.
adiós.
Adiós. Gracias. So there we go. So there you go. Bastian is from Chile, and he was the winner of the contest, so he got to ask us a question. And now the winner of the Healthy Challenge is Darío Mulero. Is going to ask us, I think, also a question. So we have the Healthy Challenge every day. Yesterday was about the healthy plate and cooking at home. And today is the meditation and the mindfulness. And Darío.
Hola,
Hola, ¿qué tal?
bien.
Bien. ¿De dónde eres, Darío?
Yo de Españita.
De Españita. Ah, muy bien. Pues nada, pregúntanos.
Con mi edad, 11 años, ¿tenía siempre ganas de jugar al baloncesto o se hacía ilusión jugar a otros deportes con mis amigos, con vuestros amigos?
Muy bien. Pues Darío is asking us, at 11 years old if we love to play basketball only, or we played other sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
No, you got it.
I played other sports, but I think basketball was my favorite. But I played tennis, soccer, volleyball, football, baseball. I played a lot of sports, but I always knew that basketball was my favorite and what I focused on the most. But I had fun playing other sports with my friends as well.
Darío, ¿qué tal llevas el inglés?
Menos.
Más o menos, ¿no? Bueno, pues yo coincido con Sabrina. I feel the same, and I did the same as Sabrina. Yo también jugaba diferentes deportes, pero al final el baloncesto era el deporte que más disfrutaba y que mis dos padres jugaron a baloncesto, amateur, y bueno, yo al final pues se me daba mejor el baloncesto, así que lo disfrutaba más y era el que quería pues jugar más, ¿no? Con mis compañeros. Así que el baloncesto era mi preferido, pero también jugaba al fútbol, también hacía natación, también jugaba, pues incluso en mi colegio hacíamos pues balonmano, voleibol, un poco de todo. Así que, pero bueno, así es como descubres cuál es el deporte que más te gusta. Muy bien. Pues nada, Darío, encantado y gracias por la pregunta y felicidades por ganar el concurso.
De nada, gracias.
Venga, hasta pronto. Gracias, hasta luego. All right. There we go. That was Darío. And now it's time for the Santander Daily Question. Benito Boniato is asking us, and this one I read to us. ¿Cuál ha sido tu mejor momento deportivo dentro de la pista? Which has been your best moment, your favorite moment, best moment, top moment on the court? So
That's tough, but I would say getting to a Final Four last year in the NCAA tournament was probably my favorite so far, just because we came up short 2 years before that, and we really wanted to get to a Final Four and hopefully a national championship this year. But winning that game was probably my favorite moment.
Yeah. Well, my favorite moment, I guess, I've had a few, so it's hard to pick one, but I guess that winning that championship against the Celtics, Game 7 in 2010 was has to be one of my favorites and one of my all-time greats, I guess, because just everything involved in it, the emotional charge, the rivalry, the Game 7, the way we did it, it's probably the top highlight of my career. All right. And now, let's see. Oh, and now we have a moment, because now we're going to pick a random person, a random follower or participant to ask us a question. So it's a moment they're all been waiting for. And now we'll, because they've been following our combo. And let's see who's the lucky one to ask us a final question before we say goodbye. And we'll wrap up. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. We got someone. Sophie. Sophie. Sí. Sophie, ¿estás ahí? Are you there? Let's see if we can connect with Sophie. Dun, 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 dun. Sophie, ¿estás ahí? Hola. She does. Oh, we might have to pick another one. What are you gonna do? So I think one of the things also that we've forgot, and we were talking earlier about, is how you've you put in so much work, and we talked about that, but how it's what 10 something in the morning here in the West Coast, and you already got your work in the morning, you got your work in last night, and how that's you're determined to to be the best that you can be. And I think that we can talk about it, but there's actions, right? And actions speak louder than words. So just wanted to say that and share that with all of our participants. Hola, Giselle.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Mucho gusto desde Honduras.
Desde Honduras. Wow.
Sí,
Encantado.
Honduras.
Gracias. Hondureña, me encanta.
Gracias.
Cuéntanos, haznos una pregunta.
Sí, claro. Cuéntame, ¿cuál ha sido tu mayor desafío como jugador de baloncesto? ¿Qué obstáculos has tenido que superar?
Obstacles that, okay.
That you had to overcome as a player.
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and start first?
Yeah, sure. Will you translate?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Or you can say in Spanish.
I was gonna say we'll practice that another time.
Okay.
I would say probably injury, like getting over injuries and not playing the best and not winning and not being the best that you can, and kind of feeling that you aren't producing as you should be. I think those are obstacles that are really hard, and there's stuff that goes on in your head, and you have to just try and manage that and keep your body healthy. And I think those two would probably be the biggest ones that almost every athlete probably faces.
Yeah. Yes, I totally agree. I was going to also talk about injuries as well and deal with that. Pues, Giselle, como decía Sabrina, y yo coincido con ella, para un deportista son las lesiones. Es el cómo sobreponerse a una lesión, cómo jugar con una cierta lesión y la frustración de que no puedes dar tu mejor nivel, pero que aún así quieres estar con el equipo y quieres jugar porque es el deporte que amas, pero saber gestionarlo y para no lesionarte de gravedad, pues es difícil, ¿no? Y yo ahora mismo estoy en un estado de lesión, de recuperación, y llevo casi un año y medio sin jugar, y estoy trabajando día a día para poder recuperarme y poder jugar un poquito más al deporte que amo. Así que las lesiones es sin duda, para un deportista es un poco lo que te aleja de lo que amas, y es lo más complicado, pero también te hace apreciar los momentos que estás sano y trabajas para ello. Así que eso es.
Okay.
Muchas gracias, Giselle.
Okay. A la
Saludos
orden.
a todo Honduras. Cuídese.
Claro, nos vemos, saludos.
Nos vemos, hasta pronto, gracias. There we go. So we got people from Honduras as well, and that's awesome. So well, thanks so much, Sabrina. I just cannot thank you enough. You're fantastic. Thanks for your time, for talking to us, for inspiring our players, and inspiring so many young athletes around the world. So
thank you for having me.
I appreciate it a lot. Of course. And I look forward to talk to you more.
Yep.
And we'll connect during this next few days, or a little later, and we'll talk some more. Okay.
Okay. Thank you to everyone that's on.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Bueno, that was just an incredible and great conversation with Sabrina. Such an inspiration and a great example for for all of us. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Espero que hayáis disfrutado de esta conversación, toda una inspiración y una chica tan joven, pero con tanto recorrido ya y con un talento tan especial y con muchas lecciones ya aprendidas que creo que nos ha compartido mucho con nosotros. Y ya para mañana, si queréis, revisamos. Tomorrow is going to be an intense day. Don't miss the practice session with Madeleine Urieta in her training about finishings. Also, a new healthy challenge with the Gasol Foundation awaits for you tomorrow. We will have a special guest in our daily webinar at 7 p.m. Central European Time, same time as today, with Tony Parker. So I'm sure you have heard of him. And so for the rest, just have a great day. Have the great rest of your day and your night. And so tomorrow you can be ready to go for another session, a lot of knowledge, and continue to take care of yourself. I hope you enjoyed today's convo. Espero que hayáis disfrutado de la conversación. Si os habéis perdido algo, pues ya sabéis que la tendremos en mi canal de YouTube, en Spotify y en iVoox. Podéis ver todas estas charlas si os habéis perdido un trozo de ellas. Okay, guys, thank you. See you. Take care. Continue to be safe. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.